Attention Command, I am leaving the Metroid planet and beginning my return trip. Just gotta start the ship's engines. That doesn't sound good. Oh, incoming video message.
I love Solar Ash. When I play this incredibly fast-paced game, I see clear influences from a lot of other titles. But cutting right through it all like a marathon runner at the finish line is a core concept: non-stop movement. Solar Ash refuses to stand still, and it forces you to keep moving until you finish the race.
Command, the subject of the video seems a little ironic given my current situation, but I will continue to watch the rest of it while I wait for space insurance to come pick me up.
Speed is key here, so let me give you a real quick summary of Solar Ash. Void Runner Ray is sent into a black hole called the Ultra Void to find a power source called the Starseed that can save her planet. Inside the black hole is another planet that houses many different biomes and a number of moons in the sky. Ray needs to defeat massive creatures called remnants in each sector to power up the Starseed, and in order to awaken them, she'll have to first clear out collections of black goo known as Anomalies. In a meta sense, the idea of speed is already found here. Ray is racing against time to save her planet, and in a literal gameplay sense, in order to accomplish that, she must keep moving.
Well, now I just feel like this video is taunting me. Oh, I wonder if we still have astronaut ice cream.
Movement in Solar Ash comes in 4 flavors. Ray skates, hits her boosters, grapples, and on occasion slows down time. It's important to understand how these moves work, because then we can understand why the game constantly calls for them. Skating feels like something out of Jet Set Radio or even Tony Hawk. I mean, you can't tell me this anomaly isn't a straight up half-pipe. More on those in a moment. Let's talk about boosters, which give Ray a momentary burst of speed, perfect for a photo finish during some of the more intense challenges. They may also call for her grappling hook, which latches onto a point to zip her toward a goal or away from danger. Finally, she can briefly slow down time with an ability called Time Slip, which also extends the reach of her grappling hook, pairing the two together to help you fling across rooftops like a solar Spider-Man. Solar Ash also has no fall damage, so all this movement can be done largely without regard for your own safety. Well, most of the time. You still don't want to fall in lava.
Well, now I'm in the mood for a hot snack. I think I still have space popcorn.
Lava is one of many environmental hazards in Solar Ash, and the environment itself, the makeup of this planet, is one of the main forces propelling you forward at all times. Every biome is different, but they present challenges that require you to go full throttle. One of the clearest examples is the poisonous green water of the Mirror Sea. You can touch it, and in fact you often have to run across the surface like an astronaut basilisk to reach parts of the map. A meter appears showing the toxic buildup under your feet, but you'll only take damage if it maxes out while you're still standing in the poison. If you don't want to go poof, you've got to gun it. You have to have the same hustle in the Eternal Garden. The dark mushroom-infested sector has special spore sensors that only activate with matching color spores from a fungus nearby. You have to smack it and reach the activator before they dissipate. Like the poison of the Mirror Sea, it's another organic timer. In later stages, Solar Ash combines these elements, forcing you to carry mushroom spores through the blistering heat of the luminous peak. There's no break from having to rush forward through these biomes, and in fact, their various challenges stack as you progress, lighting a metaphorical fire under you. Actually, the anomalies will literally burn up if you don't clear them fast enough. Every biome has its own cluster of these goopy messes that need cleaning, and the only way to do that is to strike each weak point fast enough. Destroying one spawns another, and you'll have to trace the pattern until you can destroy the source. It's like connecting the dots, if that included a giant piercing needle spear. Every anomaly is a different puzzle to solve, with speed, as you only have a limited time to strike the weak points before they reset. These weak points vary between anomalies, but they aren't random, so trial and error in solving them can feel more like a time trial than a puzzle. And the theme of speed has a foil in the black ooze itself. It's sticky, and it slows you down to a clomping pace if you step into it. The hazards in the environment, the rushing nature of the anomalies, these are a big part of why Solar Ash doesn't stop moving.
Maybe some of that anomaly crap is clogging up my engine. I should take a look.
Once all the anomalies in a biome are cleared, its guardian remnant will awaken. These titanic bosses bring Shadow of the Colossus to mind. They're massive, imposing, and funny enough, prone to the same weaknesses as the anomalies. Rei can take them down in the same fashion, slashing at every weak point until she can stab into its core. This can involve running along the tail of an Ouroboros, riding the tentacles of a squid-like sentry, or mounting the fiery wings of a flying volcanic hunter. From the beginning of the battle, your attack strategy is once again all about speed. Fail to clear the weak points fast enough, and the remnant's body will heat up to dangerous levels, also like the anomalies. With each successive blow to the boss's core, it'll get more aggressive too, rearranging the platelets on its back to make it harder to hit, and adding new attacks to its arsenal. As you might expect, dodging these attacks also requires you to stay on the move. Whether it's a purple energy beam, an explosive fireball, or a strong slam of an alien hand, the only way to stay alive and topple these towering foes is to never stop skating.
Captain's log, there was no anomaly in the engine, but I did find some space beer cans from last week's tailgate party. Resuming video message now.
It's not just the main bosses that attack you in this way, but all the mini monsters you encounter in the standard levels too. Combat starts off simply, with little cannon fodder guys that try to pounce on you, but it quickly ramps up to charging enemies and straight up snipers that fire at you from advantageous positions. One of the coolest enemy designs is an alien blob that controls vents that dot certain platforms. Standing still, or even slowing down atop these vents, means you'll get blasted with yellow acid. You have to quickly dash over them, avoiding the barnacle-like clusters until you can destroy the source. In every case with these enemies, your objective is to steer clear of their attacks and deliver your own. Stopping is a death sentence. Rei isn't a tank, and your health is quite limited. In fact, even maxing it out doesn't give you the chance to sit still. Every time Rei defeats a main boss, she actually loses a pip of health for story reasons we won't get into here in the interest of staying spoiler-free. But on a meta level, constantly having to re-up your health, almost like topping off a gas tank, is just another example of how Solar Ash doesn't let up, forcing you to keep driving forward full steam ahead.
Steam. Ugh, I forgot to vent the thrusters.
In the interest of offering a counterpoint, yes, there are moments in Solar Ash where you can hit the brakes and chill. Sometimes there's even a joke thrown in to spice up the breakneck pace with a little levity.
No problem. Incorrect. There are still problems.
There are also moments where the game deliberately pulls back the camera to show off its vistas, and they certainly are pretty. The camera wraps around Super Mario Galaxy style too, as you slow down to explore every nook and cranny, right side up or upside down, to find collectibles like Void Runner caches or check off the next step in a side quest. But here's the thing, those brief pauses, those moments where you can finally take a deep breath and enjoy the scenery, they stand in stark contrast to the rocketing pace of the vast majority of the game. And sure, maybe you stopped to relay back to an NPC that you found a field report they were looking for, but it took a series of sprints and jumps and other maneuvers to reach that report in the first place. You can thoroughly scan the horizon for the beacon that signifies a nearby Void Runner cache, but actually reaching it often demands some of the trickiest platforming in the entire game. These brief lapses in the racing pace are almost teases, reminding you that when you stop to think about how to reach the place you want to be, you'll realize the answer, once again, is don't stop moving.
Good news, Command. I fixed the problem and will be departing momentarily. Completing video message, then initiating takeoff.
It's not so much about how Solar Ash keeps you moving, but why you have to. And the answer is actually quite simple. You can't afford to stop. From a narrative sense with your goal of saving Rei's dying planet, or in a literal gameplay sense. Stopping only juxtaposes the beautiful scenery to the breakneck pace at which you have to tear through it. The moment of beauty can't last. This planet's biomes and anomalies are dangerous, and speed equals survival. The remnant bosses and smaller enemies are out to get you, and you can only defeat your opponents by staying on the move. Even a side quest that serves to deepen the lore will involve some degree of white-knuckle running and jumping. Solar Ash is a race to the finish. It's a game about smooth, speedy movement, and everything this alien planet throws at you makes it clear that you have to keep up the pace. It's the only way to win.
Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like what Framework is doing, definitely hit the subscribe button on the right this time. It would help me out an awful lot if you do. And if you want to see what we've already cooked up, you can hit this link on the left. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.